Up as a child, being a Nigerian and an African in an African home, living in Nigeria to be precise, if anyone mentioned that I had a demon or that there were demons around me for me to fight, then excuse me, that person has gotten himself a fight already because I'll be so angry with that person. But becoming an adult and growing up and realizing that so many things don't look exactly the same way they they sound, then I understand that we all have demons to fight. Hi, my name is Uko Mwakpan. I am the rich son of a classroom teacher. I like to call myself the small business doctor. Today, I'm going to be talking about fighting your demons. We all have demons that we are trying to fight. We all have those things that we look at them and then we'll be like, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be going this way. I shouldn't be choosing this route. Well, I already made a video about this, but today I'm going to go a little bit in depth. Now, have you ever considered that most days you wake up and then you don't feel like doing anything? Most days you wake up and you are hyperactive. Most days you wake up, I mean, especially for women, you just feel like picking a fight with everybody. You have these mood swings and you can call all of that your demons. Now, having to fight your demon goes beyond just those things. It goes a little bit extra into saying fighting the innermost fears that you have, fighting those things that will try to keep you back. And how do you do this? It takes a conscious and a deliberate effort for you to decide that you are not going to be bound by any of these things. It takes a conscious and deliberate effort for you to decide that no matter what happens, that your innermost mind saying negative things are not going to stop you. Now, for instance, when I was growing up, I had this problem of always trying to isolate myself from people. I never really associated myself with so many people while growing up. Now, this became a problem till a point in my life. Then I realized I didn't really have friends around me. I didn't really have people I could call my friends. This was a particular demon I needed to fight. Let's come back to what we are discussing today. Now, in business, when I started my first business, I was a little bit shy. I couldn't talk to people. I couldn't approach people and tell them, hey, this is what I do. But the moment I realized that the demon I tried to fight at that point, the demon I had to fight at that point was that demon that told me, hey, Ukobong, you're a shy person, you're a timid person, you are someone who is introverted, you're someone who can talk to people. Man, most people in your family don't do business, they are just civil servants, go to school, come back and become a civil servant, just get a job, get a comfortable employment, and then that will be okay. And those were the negative voices in my head telling me that I couldn't do it. But now, years after, more than 7 years after doing business and succeeding strictly on doing business, I've never had a salary job. I've never been on anybody's payroll, like a salary per se. I've always paid myself and always paid other people. I now understand that if I had started earlier, I would have been able to succeed even higher or at a higher rate or a higher percentage than I have at the moment. Now, this is it. We all have things that will push us to go the negative route. We all have those things that we are disposed to, we are predisposed to. Like sometimes it comes from maybe our background or our heritage or our culture or our tradition. We have those things that we are predisposed to do. Given the right opportunities, you will just see it jumping out of you. Some people have the demons of maybe, let's say, picking a fight with people, picking quarrels with people, and sometimes they just pick a fight with someone and they just ask, if at the end of everything they ask themselves, what did I really do? Now, these are the things you need to deliberately and intentionally fight. I've been in a situation where I tried to get something from someone. I never offended that person in her office for once. And then she just picked a fight. She was so angry, she was so bitter. And 3 days later, I went to the same office and she was like, oh man, I'm so sorry for what I said to you the other day. I don't know what came over me. I realized that this was something she was dealing with. Within her, she was dealing with this. She was fighting it so hard. But sometimes it's to still jump out. So if you're having something you are dealing with as a business person, if you're having something you are dealing with in your personal life, if you have something you are dealing with and you're trying to fight it so hard, don't be too hard on yourself. Understand that when you fight something, it is going to fight back. And sometimes you may not go 100%. Sometimes you may not have it 100%. Sometimes you may fight it to a certain level and then you just see it coming back again. Do not kill yourself. I have fought different things. I've fought different battles in my life. I've fought the battle of depression. I mean, I've at some point, I even had to go and see a psychotherapist because I felt I had so many problems. And then she looked at me and said, well, after all what I've observed from listening to you, from the sessions we've had, I think you have anxiety disorder. Then I realized that I had an anxiety to be part of the demons I needed to fight. And I started fighting it. And glory be to God. For years now, I have stayed without living on antidepressants. I've stayed without having to rely on going to talk to people. I've found my innermost peace, and that is what has given me the most significant improvement in my life. Now, you too can find that. You too can make that significant change and that stuff that can. Hello. Welcome. I greet you. You too can find that significant change. You too can find that significant points in your life where you can make a change, and that will be the turning point. So when we're talking about fighting your demons, it has to do with things that you desperately want to do away with, but sometimes you feel like you're spellbound to these things. You feel like these things are not letting me be. And one thing I do also is, I know most people don't believe in the power of prayers, but I pray a lot. I try to pray. Yes, my own style of prayer is not going to speak in tongues or going to rain hailstones or maybe fire on the demon or on the devil or whatsoever. I try to internalize my prayer. I pray, I meditate. I try to talk to God. I tell God, God, you created me. You brought me to this world for a purpose. And that purpose must come to fulfillment. And that purpose must manifest in my life. I tell God, God, if you actually created me and if you so love me as you said you do, then do something. Help me to go through this. And sometimes the answers I always get to those prayers or to the prayers that I pray may not come directly in the way I want it, but definitely I always get answers. Most times I meditate and I realize, oh yeah, I was actually the problem. I needed to have adjusted a little bit here. I needed to cool down a little bit here. I needed to have kept quiet. And I consciously took it upon myself to be doing the little things that will help me improve daily. That way, I have been able to fight the demons of anxiety. I've been able to fight the demons of introversion. I've been able to fight the demons of not talking to people about my business. And these things have helped me. I believe that if you to take the conscious effort of making sure that every day you try to improve one step at a time, trust me, it is not going to be a magic bullet and it's not going to be an instant process. But if you follow through the process, you too are going to be able to successfully fight your demons. And in your journey to fighting these demons that are affecting your life and are keeping you back in the position that you don't want to be, that are holding you back, that are holding you to that negative position, to that low position, in your journey, I wish you success. And I want you to know that no other person is going to come to fight it for you except you. And if the responsibility is yours, take charge of your life and be responsible. Take charge of life and decide that you're going to do better. Until I see you in my next video, my name is Ukobo Akpan. I'm the small business doctor, and I like to call myself the small business doctor. I am the rich son of a classroom teacher. And until I see you in my next video, God bless you. Bye-bye.